is Adventure Ruler, and if you clicked on this video, it's because you like me. I'm just kidding. You probably clicked it because you wanted to hear my thoughts on the new Team Sonic Racing. I got the Switch version, because that's it's the console I got. So, in this video, I'm going to go over the things I like about the game, the little nitpicky things I don't like, and in the end, a wish list for a future Sonic Racing game, or if this game gets DLC or updates, which I'm hoping. Anyways, enjoy. Alrighty, so this part's going to be a little more off script, you know, just so I can talk to you guys 1v1. I just wanted to have that opening. I gotta do more like me on camera like videos. Anyways, so I'm going to start off with basically cons, pros, and then my wish list at the end. And there's something special at the end too, which you guys I don't think will expect. I literally just started this while I was making the script for the opening. So, let's just start right off. The first thing that I don't like about this game is there's no transforming. If you guys remember Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, that was probably like the coolest thing that game had that Mario Kart didn't. You know what I mean? Like, that made somebody who got Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing instead of Mario Kart was for that reason exactly. Because if you think about it, Nintendo actually copied off of Sonic, because Sonic did that first. Sonic did the whole like car transforming first, you know what I mean? It was like, and then, you know, Mario was just like, you know what I mean? And just little stuff like that can make a big difference. What, like, every time I play this, like, I'm honestly expecting for me to like turn into a plane or like turn into like a submarine kind of looking car, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's not in this. You know, it's, I don't know, it just, I just don't like it really, because like it feels like we went from Sonic Sega All-Stars Racing, which is like the tippy top coolest racing game, and then when Team Sonic Racing came out, you know, it was kind of like it kind of feels like a hand-me-down version in a way. That's just how I feel. I mean, the game is still, you know, it's still very good. It's still very good, and I enjoy it. It's just, you know, the transforming, I'm gonna miss it. Alright, up next, the next con that I personally, you know, wasn't really happy about is the very little online emblems. And basically what that is, it kind of shows like your online ranking, right? Like how often do you win? You know, if you suck, you have like a bronze. If you're alright at the game, you have a silver. If you're like a medium, like you win some, you lose some, you got a gold. And then there's like a Stark silver coin that like you win most races, and then like you have a dark green online, excuse me, and like a green online emblem. Basically means you win almost every race that you go into. That's the one I got. But the one problem is that I have is, one, there's very little, right? There's very little of those emblems. And then the next thing is, I got that so quickly. I went online and I swear to you, I did 5 races and I already got the green emblem. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm the best of the best now. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's an online issue, right? Like maybe I didn't mean to get the green, or maybe if I'm compared to other racers and other people start playing the game more, you know, going online and playing online and winning more than me, maybe my rank will decrease. If it's like that, then that'll be cool. But you mean it's either that or, you know, the game could use more emblems. But yeah, not too happy with that, but not really a big complaint. Alright, so up next is actually the customizations. Now hold on, I know that's the main thing of the game, and don't get me wrong, I love that you can customize your own car the way you want to, with the vinyls, right? Like putting on like decals and stuff, or not decals, but like, you know, like paintings on your car. You know, changing the color of the hood, the wheels, you know, changing up your whole, you know, making it the way you want it, like your style. But just the one little problem I have is, technically, there's only really like 3 performance parts for each like side of the car. Like the front has 3 parts, right? The rear has 3 parts, and then there's 3 different wheels. And then for the rare items, which, you know, you need the mod pods for, obviously for all these parts, but then the legendary parts are just like the 3 parts that already came with the game, the 3 main parts, but it's just golden now. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but I noticed that when I was, you know, just looking at the designs. It's literally just the 3 main parts, but goldenized. I didn't really like that too much. I would rather have 6 completely different, right? 6 completely different performance parts for front, rear, and wheels, all different designs, instead of, you know, just 3 and then have 3 that are golden for each side. I like, that's just me personally. I would rather have 6, you know, unique, all different looking parts than 3 and 3 each. Okay, and then real quick, this is just a little nitpicky one, and I'm not sure if this is just me or not, or if this is actually the game, but it seems like the game doesn't really have like a Mario Kart-esque thing going on with the item RNG. Because there's sometimes when I would, you know, play against my boy, I'd make a room and he'd join up, and it would just be us 2. That's the way we like it. We want a 1v1, you know, competitive race. But sometimes when I'm in the lead, or no, when he's behind me, like he's losing, technically he's last place, it will give him the Fire Wisp. And that item is meant for first place, because the item always hits behind, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure if that's the game, just the RNG is kind of messed up, or I'm not sure. So if they could fix it, cool. If it's just me, then oops. and just one more thing about the item randomizer. There was another time that I was playing online, right? And there's the drill wisp, which is basically like the bullet bill for Mario Kart when you're in like dead last, right? Like, you need something to freaking, you need this to get anywhere close to being still in the race or having a chance of winning. One time I was playing online and I was literally first place, and I got the drill when I was already winning by like a landslide. Like, I was way above everybody, and I got the drill wisp, and I was like, what the hell? I didn't even use it. At first I thought the game glitched. Like, the finish line was like a drift away, and I was like, okay, let me just use it. I just thought that was really weird. So that was like a second time that, you know, I just think something's wrong with the item RNG. But who knows? Alrighty, now it's time for the pros. Now that the cons are over, and you could probably tell, you know, it was all minuscule stuff, you know, not really that big a deal, just something that me personally Just stuff I didn't like about the game. Okay, so now let's start with the first pro. Okay, so the first pro that I gotta give this game that is actually really cool. I've literally have never seen that in a racing game before. Then again, I don't really play a lot of racing games, but still, that caught my eye and I really liked it. There's actually specific items that can only be used by the specific types of racers. For example, the speed types like Sonic, Shadow, they actually are more likely to get the Burst Wisp than the other two types, which is Power and Technique. The Power type cars, Knuckles, I'm pretty sure Big is one of them. They're more likely to get the Cyan Wisp, the Pink Spikes, and the Violent Wisp. And then the Technique, which is Tails and his row, are more likely to get the Music Notes. That is actually really cool. The reason why I like that a lot is because it gives the player an incentive to play the other racers. You know what I mean? Instead of just always the speed types, instead of just always the technique types. That means if you actually do choose other characters in the different rows, your gameplay will come out differently. You know what I mean? Your race won't always be the same if you would always use Sonic. You know what I mean? If you would always use Sonic, it wouldn't be as interesting or different if you were to switch it up, between Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, because all these items do very different things, and it can make the outcome of the race interesting. Alright, and up next is obviously the music. It's a Sonic game. It's gonna have amazing music. Mostly of the upbeat and the rock kind of music, which I like a lot. It was actually because of Sonic that I actually love, rock and roll and classic rock and stuff like that on the radio. It's because, it inspired me because of Sonic. Also, Gen Senuo, I hope I said that right, but he has also returned to make the music from this game, which is why it's amazing. If you guys don't know who he is a Japanese artist who makes music. He's been associated with Crush 40. He's made music for Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, Sonic Rivals, Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, his spin-off game, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic the Black Knight. So obviously, he knows his way around Sonic music, and he knows what Sega's looking for. Especially with a racing game, that's going to be a piece of cake for him. I mean, he's already done it, with his drums and guitar, so he's very good at it. So here's just a few songs from the game, just how awesome it is. Alright, so another pro would have to be obviously the racing tracks. If it's not obviously the music, it's obviously the racing tracks. One or the other, it's an obvious good, very good. I actually like the levels in this game a lot. Obviously, Ocean View is are the stages from Sonic Heroes. Everybody has to have played that. I mean, that's one of the most popular Sonic games. It was a GameCube exclusive, I think. Or actually, no. Actually, don't quote me on that. I'm not actually 100% sure. I think it was only on the GameCube, but not 100%. So I really like Ocean View a lot. The Ocean View Cup is probably one of my favorites, and the second would have to be Boo's house. Not Boo from Mario. Boo from Sonic Adventure. That stage is actually based off of Pyramid Cave, which is from SA2. And in that same cup, there is another stage that is based off the, I think it's Sandopolis. Yep, Sandopolis from Sonic and Knuckles, which is another one of my favorite like Sonic games from the 2D era, besides Sonic Triple Trouble. But they're not gonna show levels from that game. That's not really known. And then another one real quick is Ice Mountain from Sonic Adventure. So I really like that they took, you know, levels from all the different Sonic games, you know, not just the mainline ones. So the levels are also really cool. And the remixes, of course, are badass. Alright, and just to clarify, I like the customizations. I know I said that every character pretty much only really has like 6, 7, 8, 9, like 9 actual parts that look different and have different effects on your cars, like, you know, its specs and stuff like that. I still like it, you know what I mean? You're still able to make your... The biggest thing would have to be the colors. You know what I mean? If 3 parts isn't enough for each side of your car, then the color is really what's going to make it stand out, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of times when me and my boy, we would go online and we, you know, hop in the same online server by both of us would hop on at the same time, and we would just connect, you know what I mean? Our switches would connect. And there's sometimes where during the race aren't 100% sure if is that my boy's shadow, or is that some random guy's shadow? And then he's the same way. He's like, hold on, is that you? Is that you, Josie? Is that your Sonic? Or is that someone else's Sonic? We don't really have to ask each other that, because we play each other against each other in our online rooms. And just the way we modded our car, you and me were able to tell. And I really like that. You know, I really like that he's able to tell which Sonic is, you know, his friend. Because I have the metallic double spikes, silver rims, and then the red painted metal on the bottom. That's just my design. I like that a lot. It looks really cool, and that's my style. That's what we want from customizations. And the game delivered. I'd still like more than 3, but it's okay. Alright, up next is one that I like a lot. You know, it's just a little thing in the game that isn't really... I think I'm happy about this little thing that really isn't that big. It's probably the Mod Pod. I just love earning R coins from racing people online, or racing, you know, my boy in our private custom lobby, and just getting R coins. 10 R coins is all you need to... I think it's gambling. I think I have a problem. But every time I get R coins, I just have to go back to the Mod Pod and just dump coins in there and just like hope that I made, you know, the right choice of putting my coins in that thing. Because it really is exciting just to see what you get. You can get something crappy like a boost box. Nah, those are worthless. I never use those. But then there's so many parts that you can get, and I'm not actually sure if you could get repeats. If you could get repeats, that would make Mod Pods even more crazy. You know what I mean? Like, oh god, like, am I gonna get the same item, or am I gonna get something new? You know, like, it's really fun going to the Mod Pod menu, and, you know, just dumping them in that little container there, and just seeing what you get. It really is fun. It's a little thing in the game, you know, but I like that a lot. You know, me and Austin, We're just after a bunch of races, we'd have like 100 or 200 art coins, and then we'd tell each other what we unlocked. You know, we would like tell each other the name, who's the character for, what part is it, you know, like if it's a legendary or something. If it's legendary, we pop off, you know, because sometimes those can be rare. But yeah, I like mod pods. And also, Sonic R music on the mod pod screen also doesn't help. That makes me want to gamble more, because I love that game. Alright, another thing that, another pro that I really like about this game, that again, I don't really see in a lot of other games, but that's what's gonna make this racing game stand out from all the other ones. It's gonna have to be the team up racing. I think besides the customization, the team up racing is another thing that's gonna be a huge thing, you know. Basically what the team up racing is, if you press the team up option in story mode or online, you actually choose a character, and whoever that character's like, you know, main team with, you actually race together. Not in the same car, but during the race, your teammates and you, whoever's in the lead, like get this like slipstream. It's kind of like they follow your tires, right? And if they go on the same path that you went, they can start to gain momentum, and if they get off the slipstream, they boost. A reason why I like that is because it reminds me of Sonic Riders, and that's one of my favorite racing games ever. Basically what the slipstream is the wind turbulence. It works the same way in this. It's a little more controllable because, you know, you're not flying left and right. And another thing with the team up racing is you're actually able to share your items, which is really cool. So if you're playing with other human players, and if all of you, you know, have this like compatibility, like you guys just mesh well, you know, you guys can understand, you know, how to work as a team. You know what they say, teamwork makes the dream work. You know, so whoever's in lead, whoever's in behind, or in the middle, you just know who to share your item with, and either your opponent can take it or just leave it for the other partner. And I feel like team up racing is a really cool way to get people together. Okay, so now let's talk about the voice actors. I don't know if this is a con or a pro. I just kind of wanted to talk about this. So Roger Craig Smith is voicing Sonic again, not the movie Sonic, unfortunately. I mean, that guy sounds okay, but I mean, I'd rather have everything consistent, but it's whatever. Just another small little thing. So he's returned to voice Sonic again. Mike Pollock is Eggman. Mike Pollock has to stay Eggman, or I don't like it. But the thing is, Jim Carrey's one of my favorite actors, so that's another pass. So he returns as well. Now the thing I wanted to talk about is Knuckles' voice actor was actually changed. For whatever reason, Dave B. Mitchell voices him now, and I was hearing memes of people saying he sounds like a surfer dude now, and I hear it. It's like a mix of the previous one and a surfer dude together. I don't know. It's kind of funny, but you can look over it because it's only sometimes you hear it. Erica, I don't have her last name written down, but she voices Cassie Cage from Mortal Kombat 11. She voices Blaze in this. Not a real needed change, but that's really cool. And then the same thing with Zavik. Patrick Seltz voices Scorpion from Mortal Kombat 11. He voices Zavok in this. You know, another unneeded change, but hey, it's really cool. You know, they don't sound too different from the previous voice actors and voice actresses, so I'm pretty sure it won't bother anybody. And people who like Mortal Kombat will find that really cool too. So yeah, voice actors, all of them, alright by me. And Silver too. Alright, so I'm just going to knock this out real quick. I'm just going to talk about a few things because the video is getting a little longer than I expected it to and wanted it to, honestly. So I'm just going to head straight to the last three. Oh, this is actually my wish list. These are my 3 wish lists. Let's see. So the first one is specific item game modes. Basically, what this is the items that you want to show up the most during a race. This is specifically for custom lobbies. If you could put that in the other parts of the game for like DLC and stuff, that would be really cool. But basically, just have one item showing up, like the cubes or the boosts or the fires. I think that would just be really cool if you could make a game mode where if you want it to be just one item, it can be that. Because there's a lot of times when I'm racing my boy in my custom lobby, and I was like, man, it would be really awesome if first place got cubes all the time. So then the whole race is just full of cubes, and you gotta constantly be dodging. I don't know. That would just be really cool, I think, if it had that. Next up is the custom lobby. I kind of wish if they do update this game, if it could come with a code. Do you know what I mean? Like a code and a password. Because the way the custom lobbies works in Team Sonic Racing, to race with somebody else in a custom lobby, you have to be their friend. You have to be their Switch friend. And I don't know how I feel about that, you know what I mean? Because you don't always... Because if... Like, imagine if I'm streaming and all my viewers, like 10 of them, right, have the game, and they're like, hey, let's race. I have to friend all of them. Again, just, not really that big a deal. But, it would be cool if they, made the custom lobbies where if you just send somebody like a code or something. Like Super Smash Brothers, when making an arena, you can either make it public or between friends. In this, it's just only friends, so just another little thing that I think it'd be a cool little, like, addition, but not that big a deal. And then lastly, obviously, character DLC. This is probably to keep the game alive, to be honest with you. It would be cool if, it's obviously it's not going to be the roster like Mario Kart, but at least we have more than 12 racers in a race that we're not seeing constantly. You know what I mean? Because there's sometimes where I would race multiple times and I would see the same characters. And the only reason for that is there's not enough characters, right? And I counted it. There's 12 that are in a race and there's 15 in total. And it would be really easy, I think, is if you were to add just a few more characters. Here's what I'm thinking. Charmy and Espio. You gotta have them. You have Vector in the game, you know what I mean? You gotta have the whole Chaotix team, you know what I mean? You gotta have them too. Now, this is the twist that I want to show you guys. These are the characters that I'm thinking that should be in the game, and it'll be really cool because I feel like it could tie into the Sonic IDW comics. If I know they're not gonna do this, but it would be crazy, and I think people will really find it cool, is if they released Tangle the Lemur, Whisper the Wolf, Dr. Starline, and Jewel the Beetle. Those are all Sonic IDW comic characters. Created by... Hold on, just give me 1 second here. Ian Flynn. He is the writer for the Sonic IDW comics, and if they ended up in this game, or just in any Sonic game, I feel like that'll give a nod to the comics as well. You know what I mean? Because in the first Sonic R, you had Mecha Knuckles, Tails Doll. You know what I mean? They were just in that game, but in the comics, they took those characters, right, and fleshed out their story and gave them a personality, and all that stuff. So I feel like it would be cool if Sega did that in return to the comics. Take their characters and put them in something that, it would be a little more mainstream. And also, hey, it fills up spots, Right off the bat, you have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you would have 7 characters coming out for this game. That would be really awesome. $3 each, $4 each, $5 each. Sega will be making money. I mean, why wouldn't you want these characters? They're interesting, they're original. And then, obviously, Charmy and Espio are just needed. Vector's alone over here. Teaming up with people he doesn't even know. With strangers. Vector doesn't know his team like that. But yeah. Yeah, guys, thanks so much for hearing what I have to say about Team Sonic Racing. Let me know in the comments if YouTube hasn't disabled them forever yet. I like it. I like Team Sonic Racing. It's a good game, you know? It's just like having a Mario Kart game. You just have it, and then when people come over, or your friends, or your cousins, or your family, you guys just have something to play. A nice, simple, fun game. That's what Team Sonic Racing is. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.